My name is Laurie Adams. I'm the CEO of Women for Women International and really proud to be part of this project on feminist leadership. Well, for me, being a feminist is all about the basic notion that people are equal. And leadership is about bringing people together to create a change that we all believe in. So feminist leadership for me is as simple as really valuing everybody and bringing out the best in everyone towards something that we all believe in. I think feminism is one of the most powerful movements on the planet because we've had to deal with bringing about change, not just in broader society, but in our own families and in our own lives. And so we've learned a deep, deep understanding of what it takes to change human belief, human behavior ourselves. And that knowledge, that lesson about how change happens, works for all movements, not just the women's movement. And wherever I've worked, whether I'm working on trade or conflict or any issue at all, having feminists alongside has always deepened our analytical ability to figure out a path towards change. I think for me, feminist leadership started off being most inspiring about someone who I look up to as speaking my values of, bringing about a better world. But I've learned that feminist leadership is also about care and compassion and the African proverb that if you want to get there quickly, go by yourself. But if you want to survive, go there together. And so taking care of ourselves, taking care of each other, leading with care and compassion, understanding that every day we are each struggling with our personal issues as well as a broader context, that's an important part of feminist leadership for me. Basically, the toughest thing is that the world is not a feminist place. And so you are up every single day, you're having to try to reinvent, and you're having to help people understand a different way of being. And sometimes it just doesn't work because people can't even understand. They read they read your actions through their lens, and so they see you as weak for sharing power or uncertain for asking questions. And so it's a much deeper work of helping other people have a different frame of reference for how one can lead, how one can bring about change. Audre Lorde says you can't break down the master's house with the master's tools, and that is a challenge that we all face because we are living. The tools we've been given and the house we live in. It's like trying to rebuild the plane while you're flying is another way of putting it. So it's a lot of hard work, but incredibly satisfying when you do manage to do it differently. Well, a positive result, for example, is when you see someone learn a different way of being that's more powerful for them. So, for example, I had a marketing director who was a man who had come out of agencies. And I was talking about a failure that we'd had. And he was really quite shocked and horrified about this notion that he'd failed, that we'd failed. And when I talked about the importance of failing forward, of embracing failure, of embracing it as something to learn from that was positive, it eventually brought about a whole different way in how he was and how we could be and how we could learn together and better. So those moments when you manage to change people's frames of reference and give them more power are incredibly satisfying. I think one of my biggest lessons is when I started off as a feminist, I believed in consensus politics. I was anti-authoritarian, anti-hierarchical. I think I was actually afraid of power. And so I've learned to embrace power. Marianne Williamson has a quote, it's often attributed to Nelson Mandela, which says that the thing that we fear most is not our inadequacy, but that we are powerful beyond measure. And I think that was true for me at the beginning. And so learning that I can use power for good, that it's important to be conscious of how you are affecting others, I think that's the most important lesson that I've taken forward, alongside the one about self-care and compassion. And the struggle is a long one. We are never going to complete it today or tomorrow or even in this lifetime. So take care of yourself, take care of others, be patient, be compassionate.